Being a drone pilot has meant taking beautiful overhead shots of whales, sunny California beaches, and gorgeous resorts around the world. It has also meant taking photos of parking lots. If you ask me which is better, well, for new pilots, I have to say the asphalt is better than the beach. Hi there, I'm Emily, the Drone Angel, and welcome back to your one-stop shop for everything drone related. I've worked in many different niches over the span of my career, and commercial real estate is one that I'm constantly recommending to new drone pilots. In this video, I want to help those of you who are just getting started or who are making the switch from another field to break into commercial real estate. I'll give you insider knowledge on what the industry is like, tips for breaking in, and some starting points for how to make sure you're irresistible to your potential clients. But before we jump into it, please hit the subscribe button so you can stay notified when future videos go up.
Bro, I know what real estate is. I even have a realtor friend. But what is commercial real estate? Is that like the Super Bowl ad of real estate?
Photography and videography for commercial buildings is a completely different game than yield single-family homes. Even though real estate and commercial real estate can be lucrative, you're working with a different breed when you sell to B2B companies than when you work with, individual realtors. Think about it. The Barbie dream house of your fantasies might cost millions of dollars, but a commercial property can sell for like a cool even, $15 million or even more. Just to put things into perspective, your job that cost them only a couple $1,000s is really a drop in the bucket compared to what's at stake. That's part of the reason why I recommend it so strongly to newer pilots. You can make the switch from real estate to commercial real estate with your transferable skills, and you can be part of an industry that pays well even for beginners. Now, competition is still fierce in commercial real estate, just like any other droning career. But contrast that to things like portraiture, weddings, and engagement shoots. You have a better shot of finding your foothold since fewer clients can make a bigger impact on your bottom line.
It's all about the Benjamins, my friend. The Benjamins.
Okay, I'll stop talking about the money. Let's get into what commercial real estate is really about. Your main goal as a freelance drone pilot is to make your clients happy and your wallet happy at the same time. If you're lucky, you can make the creative part of your brain happy too. Sadly, commercial real estate isn't the greatest place for people who need a lot of creative freedom in their work because almost everything you do is scripted. Personally, I don't mind it because it allows me to make a ton of money quickly without having to make a ton of edits. I just make it a priority to, fuel my creativity with personal projects. There is variety in what you can do with commercial real estate. It's not narrow by any means. So even though you don't have as much creative freedom, that doesn't mean you have to be bored.
I'm bored.
For example, you might work for construction companies, helping them manage and survey major sites. Maybe this comes in the form of footage, maybe it's progress photos, or maybe it's a mixture of things. Another aspect of commercial real estate is shooting finished projects. Not all commercial properties are commissioned through a construction company. Plenty of them need to be put on the market and sold, just like a house. Commercial properties range from supermarkets to apartment buildings to office skyscrapers. There are even things like resorts, hotels, and motels that could use the skills that you honed in commercial real estate, even if they're technically their own niche. If you're as flighty as I am, you might enjoy being able to hop from real estate to commercial real estate to hospitality and beyond.
Dude, can we go back to talking about the money now?
Regardless of your personality or the type of work you like to do, you need to have a strong grasp on the quirks of commercial real estate if you want to succeed in this field. It's just not real estate with bigger buildings. A busy intersection or a loud highway is a major downside for a residential building, but every single one of those noisy cars is a potential customer for a storefront. You want to highlight these positives to help your clients make sales. In some ways, it's the exact opposite of what you're used to if you're, coming from real estate, but I think you will find it's all about changing your mindset. Think from the perspective of your client and you will be set whether you're working in residential or commercial fields. If you already have experience in real estate, I would suggest checking out the most similar forms of commercial buildings, apartment complexes and condos. Property management companies spend a ton of money making sure that their properties are filled, so it's a good place to look for your first bite. They want aerial photography and videography to show off their amenities, which can include things like a pool that you already know how to shoot. You can also consider office buildings who want to show off any amenities, large parking lots, and the convenience of the area for the future employees and business partners who are going to work there. Now, if you have ever had an office job, you can probably imagine what things would be a plus for an office and what things would be less desirable.
then I'm quitting. I'm going to quit.
Now for warehouses, a location close to other warehouses, easy access to a freeway, port, or train station is more favorable than, like, let's say near a shopping center or a park. Then there are construction sites. They're very different from other categories in that your photos and videos will be, more practical and less for show. But you don't necessarily have to learn a totally new skill set. Just make sure you're respecting the fact that it's a work zone. You want to show up in work site friendly clothes like a hard hat. I tend to wear jeans, closed-toed shoes, and any other requirements that the client sets out. Construction sites usually want to buy progress photos or footage either to help out the site manager who is probably caught between multiple sites or to show to the company commissioning the building. Investors love to see the progress made on their investment. As you work in commercial real estate, you will start to form your own expertise and you will understand what your clients want before they even tell you. Now, I've given you just enough information to jumpstart your career because right now you need to focus on finding leads. No matter what you do, finding your first clients will probably be the hardest part. Now, if you've watched my video on how to make money with your drone in 2025, you will know that I'm a big supporter of background research.
Stalking.
Unless you have a very strong network, I believe it's one of the only ways to break into a new niche. That means you need to start by learning who your ideal clients are. You can schedule meet and greets if you want to grow your network and familiarize yourself with the industry before you start the selling process. But I'm gonna assume you're just past that point. Seriously, if you're not, you need to check out my other video first. Since commercial real estate is broad, there are a lot of different people you might wanna reach out to. There are brokers, developers, construction companies, project designers, and even stakeholders of commercial projects. The real challenge isn't knowing that these people exist, but figuring out where they're hiding. It's not easy, especially if you have no experience in commercial real estate and no connections. I mean, we can't all be Nepo babies, but that's okay, because this is why I've honed my skills in stalking people on social media.
Have you been stalking their social media?
LinkedIn and Facebook are filled with great leads. Now, LinkedIn is easier to use in my experience since you can search for people by what their job titles are, and they're more likely to be searching for professional connections. Now, remember the property management companies I was talking about? You can find their business pages on LinkedIn and then search through the list of employees for people who might be key decision makers. Now, I know it can be really hard sometimes to get a reply directly from LinkedIn. So after finding them there and sending a message, I look up their company on Google, I find that exact person, and I locate their direct contact information. There are also social networks that you can join even if you don't know anyone. Look for conferences, conventions, BNI groups, and whatever else you can get your hands on. Wherever you search for your leads, get used to sending out messages, making phone calls, and chatting with total strangers a lot. Now, the beginning is going to be the hardest, and you need to be prepared to hear the word no constantly.
No.
Just think of it as planting the seeds for your dream career in the future. Now, if you need more help figuring out who to contact or how to write your pitches, my e-course on how to be a drone pilot has all of that information and more based on my own personal experience in the field. Now, as an introvert, people have underestimated me and my ability to put myself out there in high-stress, competitive environments. Don't get me wrong, it's been a struggle, but that doesn't mean you have to stop from doing it all. Even if your pitches aren't perfect, you don't always find the best clients, and you're rejected constantly, the most important thing is that you keep going. It's a numbers game, I promise.
Bro, I've been calling clients and chatting in construction companies for months, but still nada. What am I doing wrong?
Whether you've already been on the grind and reaching out to clients or you're getting started for the first time, there's one big piece of advice I need to give you. You want to differentiate yourself. It will make or break your career. If you can't answer the question of why your clients would want to work with you over other drone pilots, then landing jobs is going to be a struggle. I mean, you wouldn't walk into a job interview without knowing the answer to that question.
Job interview.
And being a freelance drone pilot is no different. Every interaction with a potential client is like a job interview, except they haven't even seen your resume. They don't trust you, and they won't remember you unless you make them. Your portfolio or website is crucial, even if you only have a couple of pieces. I mean, all you really need is 1 or 2 outstanding samples to convince clients that you're good at what you do. Make sure all of your certifications are in order, you have the editing skills for the job, and you're comfortable using professional software. Of course, differentiating your business is a long-term process, and you can't have everything you want from day one. And let's be real, as someone breaking into commercial real estate, you aren't the best person out there. That's just facts. You might have to make some sacrifices by lowering your prices when you're first starting out, doing pro bono work to build up your portfolio, and offering shorter turnaround times than all your competitors until you get your career kickstarted. Now, the good news is that even from the start, you can pick a niche. This sets you apart from the competition as a specialist and someone who is going to be more familiar with the client needs and the industry standards. And it's more about how you present yourself than having years and years of experience under your belt. Some of the niches you can pick from can include warehouses and factories. Or you could work exclusively on construction sites. Maybe apartment complexes and condos are the place for you. The final way to differentiate yourself is to offer unique services. Now, most people are gonna want a package deal. I mean, they don't wanna find a separate photographer for ground footage and then a drone videographer. I provided the service of capturing ground footage at the same time as I captured aerial content, which helped me land more clients in a field where most people were doing one or the other. Offering packages that include fully edited content is also a huge help. If you have great video editing skills, you might want to highlight that. Combined with a niche property type like resorts, which often want videos to show on their website, you can become a powerhouse. People wanting videos for the resorts will go to you first. Hopefully, I haven't overwhelmed you with all this information. Commercial real estate isn't just one thing, and you're going to have to find your own way in this complicated, high-demand niche. Now, I want to encourage you to get started right after you finish watching this video instead of procrastinating. I know how tempting it is to doom scroll.
At home, just doom scrolling.
But you need to get out there if you want to achieve your dreams of being a freelance drone pilot. Go take a peek at LinkedIn, hone your editing skills, or get outside and practice filming commercial buildings. Whatever it is, go for it. You got this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment and comment below. Feel free to ask questions and I'll try to get back to you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.